It's that time again as Iron Country brings you the Fishin Hole. Keep up to date with the latest products and learn fishing tactics from some of the best anglers across North America.
Let's give him a warm welcome this morning to the Fishin Hole 2014 National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame inductee Dale Stroshine. And this week's guest, we are going to introduce to you Larry Smith from Larry Smith Outdoors. We bring you another fantastic guest this week. It's legendary Al Linder on the Fishin Hole.
And my pleasure to be here, Jerry. Looking forward to it.
Here's your host, Hurricane Jerry.
Good morning, Hurricane Jerry with you as we talk fishing in the State Line area every Saturday morning at 7:20 a.m. here on Iron Country 1019 and 1490. Today's show is brought to you by the Rock River Bait Box. Their knowledgeable and experienced staff will help you turn those casts into catches. The Rock River Bait Box, located on Rock River Road in Fort Atkinson, right on the Rock River, your ice fishing headquarters, the official Eskimo and Ion dealer with everything you need to enjoy your time on the ice. Also, they've got a ton of Eskimo apparel like float suits, jackets, bibs, hats, and gloves, all in stock. Your official Acme Tackle Outlet store. They've got St. Croix rods. They've got Old Hickory utility buildings available. And don't forget, they've got the Beaver Dam tip-ups and other fishing accessories. Great assortments of live bait and tackle, and a better selection than your big box stores, the Rock River Bait Box in Fort Atkinson. The whole month of January, we're featuring women on ice and women that promote the sport of fishing. And of course, we had Barb Carey, Nicole Stone, and we've got a brand new guest, and I'm going to have her on a little bit later on in the spring. We've got Kimber Pamp with us this morning. And Kimber, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, no problem. And we got to kind of introduce the listeners to you. How long you actually been fishing, and how long you've been interested in fishing, and what got you started in this?
Yeah, so I actually grew up with a family that fishes. My mom and stepdad can fish, and then my dad has fished all my life too. So I literally have been fishing as long as I can hold a pole. There's pictures of me with a little Snoopy pole catching panfish at a very, very young age. So it's been something I've been doing my whole life. So
it's in your blood then, and yeah, there's no stopping you.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I fished a lot, but that we're friends on Facebook and stuff, and some of the pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are really into this, So Barb Carey reached out to me, and we got to introduce you, and definitely want to promote you. Talk about some of the sponsors that you're with, and kind of let people know what you do to promote their product and stuff. Who are you? You're with a company out of Madison with kayaks, right?
Yeah, so Rutabaga Paddle Sports is the first company that reached out to me. I actually really didn't know very much about sponsorships and just that side of the fishing industry. They reached out to me about wanting me to be one of their sponsored kayak anglers. So they helped get me set up with a really nice pedal drive kayak, and I have a trailer for it, and just any of the accessories. They're a wonderful company. I actually been doing business with them long before I ever was sponsored with them, just because you can go in and shop. There's no pressure for sales. They're really knowledgeable. They'll do things like, I wanted a kayak that I could fit in the back of my SUV.
Right.
They literally helped me haul kayaks out to the parking lot and see which one fit the best in my SUV.
Ah, okay.
It's a really nice company, so I'm a big fan of them.
And what other company? Yeah, what other companies you with, Kim?
So I am with a smaller company. It's Stealth Rod Holders. They're the rod holders that I have on my kayak, and I've been really impressed with them. They have a really innovative style, and they work extremely well for really big fish on Lake Michigan. I do a lot of trolling out of my kayak, so those things have been amazing for your really big, almost 30-pound salmon. They handle it really well. And then I also just signed on with DSG. They have probably what I would say the best women's outdoors clothes. It's very cute. It's very functional. I've just been really impressed because it's kind of really a one-of-a-kind company that focuses solely on women. And I really like the fact that their stuff is I have their ice suit, It is warm. It is cute. It has 1,000,001 pockets. There's a drop seat on it. I've been really impressed with their design and just like everything that they've done.
That's cool. So yeah, you've got you're with a great group of companies there, and definitely promoting their product. And of course, you promote fishing, but you touched base a little bit on the. I can't wait to get you on this spring because we're going to get more into detail about your kayak fishing. And, I've heard of that. We're trolling for salmon, or, when they come in during the run and stuff, and, and trout stuff, with the kayaks. That's just, that's really cool.
I love it. You get some cardio while you're out fishing. It's a win-win in my eyes, and it's very peaceful. And, yeah, we do it for trout year-round, and then, for the salmon in the fall. And fighting a salmon or a big trout out of a kayak is probably one of the neatest experiences ever because you use a lot lighter gear and line, and it's a lot more fair fight, and you really feel proud of yourself when you actually get a fish in because you have to do it all yourself. There is no one helping you. You have to net it. You have to do everything. You have to not get it tangled in your other lines you have out, etc. So it's been really rewarding learning how to do that.
That's awesome, and I can't wait to, talk a little bit about that later on this spring. We get you back on the show. We are in, ice fishing, and right now, and if you're just tuning in, we got Kimber Pamp with us. We are featuring women on ice for the whole month of February. It's something new that I'm doing, and so far it's been a success. And I got to give Barb Carey a huge shout out for introducing us, to me. And this has been a cool experience, just seeing what you do. And really, you just said, we talked off air a little bit, you just recently got into ice fishing. You know, any women that are listening now and that have got some interest in fishing, you want to really, it's not as hard or as intimidating, like you say, for them to get into it.
It's really not. So I started ice fishing probably about 5 years ago. And, it's kind of a funny story. So in Wisconsin, we have long winters. So as I got older, I found it got harder and harder for me to lose weight in the spring if I wouldn't do very much in the winter. So I decided I had to find something to keep me active in the winter. I tried skiing one year. It wasn't really my thing. And then I had a friend talk me into going ice fishing. I had always really been adverse to ice fishing, even though I really like to fish, just because I thought it was you literally sit on a bucket on a slab of ice and people drink and they don't really catch any fish. Well, the friend I went out with, we set out a bunch of tip-ups. We ended up catching a lot of really nice bass, and it just completely got me hooked on ice fishing. That friend ended up giving me tip-ups for my birthday that year, and from there on out, I just started kind of acquiring a little bit of equipment. The internet and YouTube is a great resource, and you have to be really safe if you're going to be out on the ice. So I am a very strong personality. That's the nicest way I'll say it. So I like to learn how to do things myself, and I'm very independent, and I like to go in and do stuff by myself. So I just watched YouTube, did some research, how to make sure your ice is safe. And then I got myself a really not expensive hand auger and just got the basics. And I started going out and ice fishing. And it was kind of a trial and error thing because I didn't really have anybody showing me what to do. But I'd keep learning new things online, keep watching things, keep trying different things. And then slowly after a couple of years, I got a lot better at it. Could actually go out and consistently catch fish. Would slowly upgrade my electronics. But it turned into something that in the winter, I look forward to it so much because there is nothing prettier than when you're out on a lake and there's not another soul out there and it's just snowed and it's just pristine and beautiful and peaceful, and then you're running around like a crazy person for flags. It's probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit something there too. To me, catching fish is always a bonus, but being outside and outdoors, enjoying nature and the beauty of it, especially those winter mornings. I mean, like you just explained, you'll have them nice, calm days, sunny day. And, when you get that fog and you're in the trees frost up like we had a few weeks back, stuff like that is more meaningful, I think. And catching fish is a bonus. But overall, you got to look at the whole experience when it comes to being in the outdoors and ice fishing, too. You got a particular, I guess I could say, you got a particular area you like to go fishing, or for ice fishing, or maybe even a destination where you like to go someday ice fishing?
Yeah, so I live closer to Milwaukee. I'm in the Menominee Falls area. So I've started fishing on the harbor and kind of Summerfest pond for trout. I was able to get my first kind of bigger brown trout through the ice, which was an absolute riot. You have to use like really light line, so it's 6-pound test for a probably 2 or 3 times bigger than that trout. And getting them that big of fish through such a little hole,
Yeah.
they do not want to come out, and they will just keep running. It was really cool. So I was really happy to do that. I will definitely keep going out there when able. Otherwise, I tend to do a lot of research and find little lakes that don't get as much fishing pressure, that not as many people know about, just so you can go out there and have a little more of that like piece of nature to yourself. I also will tend to find the lakes that you have to actually hike into a bit, just because I find that really deters people being out there. But so I do have some little lakes around the Menominee Falls area I like to fish. My family is back home, is Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, west of Madison. So it's not uncommon to see me in the Madison area. And then I like to go up to Ashland, too. I actually am going again this week for another 4-day ice fishing trip. It's just there's such an abundance of lakes, and it's so peaceful, and there's a lot of lakes that are undeveloped up there, so I just genuinely like going up to that area.
Yeah, that's great. And you ever fish, Superior, or this, Schwamagon Bay, or ice fishing and all, or not? Just the.
When we were up there this last time, it hadn't iced over yet, but that is on the agenda for this week. We're going to go see if we can find some flake.
Oh, yes, I know. Yeah, that is something I haven't even done yet. I was talking to one of the guides up in that area, and yeah, I've got to get that done. And he's explaining, too, I get a chance to know a lot of guides doing the show, and Jared Houston, I got to give him a plug, Houston's guide service up in the Duluth Superior area. I said, I always come through that area on the way to Lake of the Woods for ice fishing. And he goes, I know a lot of anglers will stop. They'll hire me for a day there, and then the next day they'll head up to Lake of the Woods. And I'm like, I got to do that. I mean, that'd be really cool. 2 different fisheries for sure, and you can hit. That's what's great about living in the Midwest. I got to ask you, have you ever been to Lake of the Woods yet?
I have not.
Yeah, if you like ice fishing and you want to catch a lot of walleyes, it's a phenomenal experience if you ever get the chance to do that. Sleeping in a sleeper house, or you can actually stay in a resort and then have the guides take you out to a day shack. But definitely, if you ever get up there, ask Barb Carey about it. I mean, it's a great place to go ice fishing for sure.
Starting to stay out on the ice overnight is actually one of my bucket list items. I actually have a bigger insulated shack on order, so I'm hoping it'll be able to get here this season. And yes, the plan is to start targeting walleyes and crappie at night.
Yep.
And actually sleep and camp out on the ice. I think that looks like an absolute blast.
It is. I actually, believe it or not, I've got a clam hub. I took that out last year. And for the first time, I stayed out all night on Lake Uganza in the Madison chain. We targeted perch all day. And then at night, of course, the crappies and the walleyes will come in. And it's nice to have you wake you up. You've got your cot and everything. You got your heater. Everything's nice and toasty warm in there. And, and all of a sudden your rattle reel's waking you up in the middle of the night. And here you got an 18-inch walleye at the end of your line. So I don't mind getting up.
If you're going to get woken up in the middle of the night, that's the definite way to get woken up.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show this morning, and we're definitely going to talk a little bit about kayak fishing, and we'll talk a little bit about your sponsors, too, with the kayaks and stuff. And, it's something I haven't had anybody on yet, and I'll definitely get you on the spring toward late April. For those listening this morning, want to actually curiosity has kind of got me with this kayaking thing, and I don't know if I got enough room in my garage or my shed for a kayak, but I might have to make room from what you're saying, so it sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, and the beauty of kayaks they're pretty tough. I know a lot of people just store theirs outside too, or they'll just throw a tarp over it, so if you don't have indoor storage space, not the end of the world.
Right, yeah.
But they're really fun once you start using them. Honestly, I have access to go out on a boat, but if I can, I always pick the kayak over going out on the boat. It's just so much more fun to me.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like it. Kimber, again, thanks for calling in this morning, and appreciate your time, and definitely look forward to talking to you in the near future again, too.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me on.
All right. Thanks. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. That is Kimber Pamp, and yes.